We got a lot this morning.
Okay, we're rolling. Hello, this is Alan DeClerc, reporter for TV station KPRK in San Marino. We're here to investigate the sudden and mysterious appearance of a tombstone on the front lawn of a Palo Alto residence. We don't have an explanation for this tombstone yet. We're trying to find out why it's here, where it came from, and why it bears the name of a Mr. Duane Kaler. We notice that there is some commotion going on in the house right now, so let's go inside and meet the Kalers and find out what it is behind this tombstone. Alan DeClerc.
Alan DeClerc.
Reporter with KPRK TV station in San Carlos. You may know why we're here this evening.
No, I can't guess.
We are here to investigate reports that there was a tombstone placed on the front lawn here.
And you investigate?
Well, it looks like they're having a nice time anyway. That's nice. Could I bring you a little closer to the mic here? We know that something unusual has happened in this otherwise sleepy suburban neighborhood, and we'd like to get some impressions from you on. Would you mind answering a few questions for us?
Oh, certainly, yeah.
Okay. First, I guess I'd like to ask you a few questions about yourself.
Well, this is a premature wake, I'm sure.
A premature wake.
Yeah, and the tombstone is adding to my dowry now, and so when I decease, my wife will just have to wipe off the bottom date and change it. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Could you tell us a little bit about yourself to start with? What profession are you in?
Well, I'm a professional entertainer, I think, right now.
We were told that you're in the dentistry profession. Are you very well respected in your profession?
Well, there's doubt about that sometimes.
Well, I'm sure that's not the case. How would you describe your reputation in general?
My reputation is above, yeah. It's above. It's the top.
It's above the tombstone, at least.
Yeah, it's above the tombstone, right? Yeah.
Okay. And in all seriousness, it's a beautiful house you have here. That dentistry is your only profession. The money you've made, you don't have any other second professions that.
Well, there's a few sidelines.
A few sidelines.
Yeah, there's a few other things. Yeah.
Okay.
Make a lot of money off of wine,
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get back to the tombstone. We noticed on the way in here that the inscription said, "A fine fellow, a lousy shot." Can you give us any insight to where that came from?
It's probably a complete lie, because.
A lie about what?
Well, about the lousy shot, because I'm really a good shot. I mean, I get a lot of ducks.
I see.
Yeah.
Oh, duck hunting.
Duck hunting, yeah.
I see. This tombstone, it had nothing to do with a disgruntled patient or any.
This could be a double meaning, I suppose, but no, not that I know of.
No?
Never lost one yet.
I'm getting the impression that this may be some sort of practical joke, and have you been the butt of any practical jokes in the past?
Not till this week, and then there have been quite a few.
There have been some?
There have been some.
Could you describe any of those for us?
Talk loud, I've lost my voice. Well,
it's only guaranteed for 50 years.
It probably started Tuesday night when I got a phone call from a tenant, because I do have some real estate, that she was crying because she had gotten an eviction notice that she was going to have to, because of illegal housing or something, that she was going to have to move out. Yeah.
I see. Is that all you'd like to tell us about that?
Well, she said that there was this notice that was in her mailbox, and they were all over the property, and then a few minutes later, the property manager called me, and he says, "I'm quitting." He says, "This is it." He says, "Plugged up toilets I can handle, but evictions, that's beyond my capabilities."
One of the other questions I had, you may have heard reports that there are some ancient Indian burial grounds being discovered in this general area of Palo Alto, and I wonder if there's any connection, any significance of that with the appearance of the tombstone here in your front yard.
No, but I did get a call today from Washington, D.C., from Henderson Crow, and from the Bureau of Indian Affairs, and he said some property that I purchased in December has an ancient Indian burial ground under it, and it's in beautiful downtown Gilroy, and that they would
Yes, I see.
yeah they seem to be very interested in digging under there to.
So you have an interest in archaeology yourself? In this?
Oh yes, yes. I like old things. That's why I invited all these friends tonight.
I see.
You notice there's nobody here younger than me.
That's right, but they all seem to get a big kick out of that too. I see. Right. Let me ask you this. I noticed that this is a fairly large object, and probably the city of Palo Alto has required some sort of permits or something like that to have something here.
Well,
have you?
I'm not. Since I didn't construct it, I did not get the permits. But I'm sure that the city will issue their proper illegal notices on.
I see.
On
So you're planning
Monday.
to leave that in the front yard indefinitely, then?
Well, I hope so. Yeah. I mean, it seems to enhance the property. There's been a lot of people look at the property this afternoon.
Right.
Yeah.
There's.
You know, and in real estate, it's sort of the front approach that sells it. You know.
If you did decide to move it, have you made any plans on how you might do that? Considering that, I guess, getting up in years is you probably would need some help with something. It's a 2,000-pound concrete block.
Well, I don't see anybody here strong enough to help me, so I suppose I'd have to hire professional
Professional
people.
tombstone remover.
Yeah.
Company, yes.
Hey, here's.
Guys.
Well, my
Yes.
father. Look at his hands. I mean, look at those.
So is this your son?
Well, I think so.
No, I meant it was just. Oh, I thought you were the son. I'm sorry. What do you think of your father here getting this tombstone placed in his front yard?
Well, I was kind of surprised, but that he'd use ornaments like that in his front yard.
Yes, I can understand that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But,
Actually,
has he done?
jealous. He's the director of a what do you call it, cemetery, and he thought that I was trying to one-up him and be buried here rather than going to his cemetery.
Has he done this kind of decorating before and earlier when he was a young man?
Oh yeah. He's always into something like this.
Yes.
Yeah.
I see.
Look at the decoration he took over there, even.
Very good looking tombstone.
We have Mrs. Kaler here. Could we have a few words of reaction to this new development on your front yard as well?
Duane's beautiful friends, his true friends, who have kept us on pins and needles for a whole week.
Well, I guess you may have seen something like this before, but is probably for the neighborhood. This is a new development.
It is a new development. Yes. Yeah, the kids walk by and they say, "Did someone really die?"
Could you give us a little more insight on the inscription?
On top of this, he bought some property down at Gilroy, and they notified him from Washington, D.C. today that it's on top of a Indian burial ground down there, and he can't use it.
See.
So you see what he's doing out here. See, he's bringing it. I think it's one of the tombstones from the Indian burial ground down there.
Oh, you think this was actually taken from there?
Yeah.
Is there any truth to that rumor? We just heard that you've taken this from the Indian burial ground in Gilroy.
Could be.
You don't remember. We've heard a lot of people that don't remember things lately and scandals.
By the name of Mr. Crow called him today from
Mr.
Washington.
Crow.
Yeah,
Mr. Crow.
from Washington, D.C.
He's from the Paiute Sioux tribe. Yeah.
Well, do you have
Well,
any
listen,
other comments?
I really can't remember very much. You know, dementia, which is one of those aging diseases, the short memory goes first. So
Does it? Yes.
I really don't remember too much that went on this week.
Well, we'd sure like to thank you for the time you have taken to interview with us.
Well,
thank you very much.
Thank you. And have fun.
Okay, this is Alan D. Clark from KPRK. Back to you. Nick and Pat, camera crew, and we'd just like to let you know that you may not receive, on your TV, you may not receive Cape Prank.
Oh.
But we'd like to thank you for throwing this party, and we'd like to say on behalf of our sponsors, on behalf of KPRK, myself, the camera crew, and Amazing Events Unlimited, happy birthday.
Set money! Set money!
You are a star.
Part of his apparel for tonight. Steve, could you give us some sort of brief but maybe humorous story about the dock here?
Well, it all started about 20 years ago, back of a 55 Ford, two-door hardtop, had French headlights, a customized hood, lowered, chopped channels, you know. It was a full job. And glass packs, duals, headers.
Shifters?
Yeah. No, it had the steering column shift.
This just fell out of your pocket there.
Come on, call. You know, in those days, nobody ever talked about them, but now it makes it easier because they call them condominiums now. So when you go in the drugstore, say, I'd like a condominium.
Just another investment.
Yeah, it's easy, and it saves all embarrassment, and we just don't have any more problems.
Well, great, thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah. Do you need one? A little later?
Yeah. Excuse me, do you have any comments for the birthday? There you go. All right, good boy. Okay, that's enough. I guess do you have anything to say? There you go. Yeah, all right. You have a happy birthday, too.
Is this an exciting evening for him?
This is probably maybe his 50th as well. Okay. There's some of the unusual apparel we're having here tonight.
Yours is coming off, Ronnie.
It's a Reebok saddle shoes we have
I
here.
like the one in the tape on. That's great.
Right. Veneer saddle shoes, Reebok saddle shoes. This is really nice stuff here.
Would you like to interview a saddle shoe?
Could
You know, there's always an interloper, don't you think?
that's, could you say a couple of words about our guest of honor here? See if,
The penny loafer? The penny loafer?
Penny loafer?
Well, I don't know anything about the guest of honor, but I'm just pleased as punch that I'm here.
well, thank you very much.
I want the front.
Something
Funny
creative.
and-
Well, I just about stumbled over that piece of concrete out front there. I don't know who did that one, but that was too much. I didn't know there were that many dead Indians buried around here. Anyway, we heard this was a 50s party, so I came dressed as a 50s person. You know, I mean, a little soccer shirt and a little outfit that makes it worthwhile, right? You got to do that.
How come you didn't
That's a
fix your shoes up like the girls?
Well, I didn't think I didn't.
With phony saddle shoes.
Well,
Look at my phony saddle shoes.
you got phony ones.
These are phony saddle shoes.
Phony.
I didn't have any saddle shoes, so my wife said, "What the hell? We'll make saddle shoes." And then I think you took a picture of these two young ladies
I think
over
we've got
here.
the whole family of
With
saddle
the whole
shoes here,
thing.
right?
Yeah,
That's
right.
great. Well, thank you.
That-
KPRK.
That's what I mean. Kaylar, you know what? Happy birthday, Duane. I love
Happy
you.
birthday, Duane.
That's it.
Thanks. Duane, since we went to college together over at Stanford a long time, and he dated Sally, took her home to meet his mother. Oh my God.
So this is a special occasion for you, too, then?
Yes. Happy birthday, Duane.
Happy birthday, Duane.
Happy birthday, you old tiger. Let's get out there and do some skiing together, huh?
All right. We have Chuck Holloway here. Perhaps you have some stories or some birthday wishes you'd like to pass on to Dr. Kaler tonight.
Who is he?
I'm not
Dr.
sure,
Kaler.
actually.
Dr. Kaler? Is he here tonight?
He's the subject of the tombstone.
Oh, he's the subject of the tombstone. Well,
He may be missing.
Frankly, I just was walking down the street in my normal attire, and it looked like there was a party here, and so I came in.
So you don't know Dr. Kaler?
No, I don't know Dr. Kaler.
Do you know
Is he a fine man? I assume
Well, actually,
he is.
we're trying to
He
figure
has
that
good
out
hors
now.
d'oeuvres, but he doesn't serve very good beer. I mean, this is the best I could get.
Yeah, that isn't very good beer, is it?
No, it isn't very good beer.
It's
No.
funny. It's funny. It's
But,
funny you
uh,
stayed this long at the party with beer
Well,
like
actually,
that, not knowing anybody.
I've only been here 10 minutes, so I
Right.
probably will leave shortly.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks.
Glad.
Something about the butcher?
The butcher? Maybe you could, give us a little background on
Well,
the butcher.
I think everybody here really knows that Duane is known commonly in Palo Alto as the butcher, and that his technique is very brutal, very primitive, and he does it with a great deal of glee.
He does.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
He does. So it's funny that so many people would show up here for this occasion with a guy like that. How do you explain that?
We're going to get our revenge. Just
get
hang on. Yeah, hang around.
You're gonna get your
Yeah,
revenge.
you'll see. That's all I have to say.
Well, thank you very much.
Okay, you're quite welcome.
Prominent attorney.
We interview
Okay.
him jointly because we're both.
We have Harry Hinman and Bud Ferrari here, and we'd like to get a few comments on this occasion.
Well, it's very depressing for both of us to be here and see this kind of a festivity when so many people are having so much trouble in the world. But what do you think about that, Bud?
I don't think it's depressing at all. I mean, his condition is rather
Sad.
suspect, and that's an issue that we probably shouldn't go any further into. But
You feel free to do that if you'd like.
well, I probably shouldn't do that because
Has he paid your bills?
Oh, he's very good about that. But and occasionally, though, he questions the bills, which I find kind of unacceptable.
I see.
But one of those particular kinds of clients.
How do you explain this tombstone? Is it some significance, some religious thing associated? What is it?
No, it's not a religious thing, but it happens to involve a cult.
Which he's a member of? A cult?
You'll see it later in the evening.
He is indeed.
That's interesting. Is there a name for the cult? It's just the
Yes, they're called the Cherokee.
This does have something to do
Yes,
with
it
the
doesn't have
the sacred Indian
That's
burial
right.
sites.
There's, all this has a certain connection. The Indians are involved, and those who involve themselves with weapons and shotguns and that sort of thing are involved. That's why there's a reference on
Arms
that.
transfers. So that explains his loss of memory too. Then.
Well, I don't know about that, but
Did you know that Ollie North was here tonight, or have you not interviewed him?
We haven't seen him actually. No.
Well, he may not come out while you're here, but I hope you get a chance to talk to him because he knows a lot about Bud's background and he knows a lot about the Kaler's background.
This is Lieutenant Colonel Ollie North you're talking about.
That's the same guy, we think. And we don't want to say too much about it. It might spoil the party.
Yeah. Well, I guess maybe I shouldn't be asking questions about that, but is there anything else you'd like to say? This is supposed to be a happy birthday party. Do we want to bring that up in this
Well, I think that's entirely appropriate. I mean, some of us, on a kind of a serious note, would like to, I think, join in, and some of his very close friends really, indeed, wish him a very happy birthday.
Okay.
And we, of course, we don't think it's as much of a milestone as others do. Those of us who have gone before.
I see. Okay.
That's right.
Well, that's great. Well, thank you very much.
Okay,
Well,
thank you.
for your time.
We have Ward Payne here, and we'd like to ask him for a few comments, maybe some happy birthday wishes for the good doctor here that's the subject of this tombstone and this party.
Well, I'm certainly glad that Duane has finally made it at the age of 50. We've been waiting for him for quite a long time, and I hope he's competent to be able to perform in the level that we anticipate in this society. If he can't perform, we'll kick him back down.
You don't want to get in.
I think that's fair. That sounds fair.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity to chat with you.
Thank you.
Sounds like an agent.
You got it. He's not here.
Okay. All right. Joe, we'd just like you to say a few words about the guest of honor here tonight, maybe about his birthday, about the tombstone, what kind of fella he really is, and what you expect from him for the next 50 years.
Well, it's kind of permanent that he's a lousy shot out there. I mean, that's a given, right?
Yeah, well, I told him, this is a group, it's a cult, and the name of the cult is the Cherokee, right?
Well, the Cherokee has a fair amount to do with this group.
Right.
And there's another member of the Cherokee coming up, I think, that...
yeah, we think he's
might
on
be
tap for next year.
in
Another Cherokee.
Next year or
The other
so.
Cherokee, yeah, right. And, this whole matter goes back some time, as you know. And, or may know.
Yeah.
And, right.
We know.
And so it's kind of established a tradition. And
it's a lousy tradition.
No, it's a great tradition. And Joe was he was instrumental in, of course, in the tombstone. He might tell you a little bit about the tombstone and how it came to be.
It's heavy. No.
Can it be moved? I mean, can it be destroyed?
There aren't any handles on it. It's got a lot of steel in it.
Steel.
He isn't going to put a sledgehammer to it and just move it out of his life. Yeah. One of the Cherokee group wants to plant it down at the Cherokee and out in one of the ponds with a little water swishing around it.
Seriously, do you think he'll ever get that out of his front yard?
Well, he was thinking about the alternatives in that regard this afternoon, and he thought about a crane perhaps, and there may be other alternatives, but it may well be that it becomes a lasting tradition, as Joe mentioned, and we have to in fact take it to the property of the Cherokee.
Right.
And actually deposit it there in an appropriate spot.
I've made an agreement with his wife that what he did to me cost $660 for me to get home from my whatever, which I don't like to talk about. And I agreed to split anything over that cost with him 50-50. So.
In order to remove, I mean the cost of removal?
Right. So just several $1,000s in additional costs you expect then?
Yeah, he isn't going to get out of there easily. We planned it reasonably well, I hope. No?
Well, great. Any other final wishes? Happy birthday?
Yeah, we wish him a happy birthday.
We really do indeed. What was his name?
Happy birthday, Duane!
Thank you very much.
Duane's hair.
I'd like to, yeah. Do you have any specific comments about a guy like that turning 50?
No, but
no
all
hair?
I have to say is welcome to the club, right?
All right, thanks. Thing to Duane on this occasion here.
Well, I already passed that 50 mark, so I can commiserate with him through experience. I don't have a tombstone, though.
And how do you think he'll handle the next 50?
The next 50 is a simple thing to just sort of glide right by, I'm sure.
Glide right by.
No problem at all.
Great. All right, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
You to say happy birthday or something about the tombstone or wish our guest of honor here something?
Well, it's my father, and I'd like to wish him happy birthday. And it was quite a surprise to have the tombstone on the front doorstep.
Can you tell us the truth about the inscription on the tombstone?
Tell us the what?
The truth about it. It says, "A fine fellow, a lousy shot." Now, what are they really referring to there?
Well, I don't know about his duck hunting. He's always been a better shot than I have. And there's proof to him about whether he's a good shot or not on the wall.
I see.
But he is a good duck hunter. And
does that have to do with the Cherokees or something like that?
Yeah, and also Grizzly Island, where he used to hunt.
Well, great. Well, you want to wish him happy birthday?
Yeah, I'd like to wish my dad happy birthday, and it's been a great 20 years for myself.
All right.
I hope to wish him another 50.
Great. Thanks a lot. Here, and I think she has a few words of congratulations.
I think you guys know, first of all, I want to commend you on your marvelous job. This is a wonderful prank, and I want to wish my father a very happy birthday. This is a great party. I think everybody's having fun.
Great. Thanks.
Thanks. You want to interview the mothers and children?
Ask the guy over there with the hat if it's true what they say about the 50 midlife crisis.
And you, Don, do you have any comments?
My voice is just about shot from being on the cheerleading team here this afternoon.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'd like to say happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Duano.
Happy birthday,
Duane. Love you. Love you. I'm falling in love all over again.
Where's the script? We have a song we're going to sing, but we've forgotten it.
You look familiar. What's your name?
Yeah.
Alan.
I know you, Alan. What's his last name? This is Alan.
Clark.
Oh, I met Alan. Okay. But Alan, could you come back and find us in just a minute?
Okay, how long do you think it'll take?
Well, let's get the words. Turn around, Carol.
We don't want. Oh!
Turn it off for a minute. Turn it off.
Sir, let me see. We have Tom Brown here. Tom, you'd like to?
That's an alias.
That's an alias name.
Right, right. My real name is Paul Wise.
Your real name?
Yes.
It's Paul Wise.
Right.
Okay.
You know,
if you pronounced it correctly.
I'm a heavy-duty venture capitalist here on the Silicon Valley scene. Right.
I sell insurance.
That's interesting. Do any of you have any views on where this tombstone came from? Or
Yeah, I do.
What's going to happen?
Well, I think it came from the East Coast.
Came from the East Coast.
Yeah.
Indian reservations.
No, I think most of the really great tombstones in this country are on the East Coast.
because, you know, we go way back in our heritage to the East Coast, and I think they shipped it out from there.
Interesting. How about you, Tom? Do you have any theories on this?
What tombstone?
What tombstone are we talking about
Well,
here?
the one I saw when we walked in, there's one out by the front sidewalk.
Is that a tombstone?
Yeah, it's permanently encased out there.
It did have Duane Kaler's name on it.
Did you notice the
I didn't know he died.
I thought that was the purpose. That's not the purpose of the
Did you
party
notice
here.
the misspelling on the tombstone?
No, I didn't.
Is this a wake or a birthday party?
Well, there was a misspelling. I mean, they carved it out in the rock, and whatever it's made out, granite, whatever, and it was a misspelling.
What's the correct spelling?
Well, they got Kaler wrong. They said C-A-L-A-R, and it's K.
So you're trying to tell me he really didn't die?
Well,
It was the wrong guy.
I don't. Maybe. Could be. I mean, you know, some guys get the details right, and some don't.
Well, would you like to say anything about his happy birthday celebration here?
We'd like to wish Duane a happy 50th.
And a very, very happy 50th. I've been through it before, and he hasn't. But Duane, there's a lot of good years left.
Thank you very much.
See you on the slopes, Duane.
We have Christy Holloway here, and we noticed that everybody here looks younger than Duane. Can you give us any reasons why that might be the case?
Well, you know, Duane has been really carrying on significantly through the years, and he has really worn himself out. There's
He
no
really
question
has.
about it. But happy birthday, Duane. You know, anyway.
Thanks.
I think I keep going.
All the group.
Oh, here, I want to get stuck.
Would you like to wish
Yes,
happy
we would
birthday?
like to wish Dr. Kaler a happy birthday. Yes.
Okay.